All right, shalom, shalom, boys. Here, well, it's second day and on the land, and I am dealing with the dumping of the trees. Now, as you see, I mean, you can't notice it, but this has all been filled with trees. I mean, it has to be at least a 15, 20-foot drop from here, and I am dealing with my erosion issue because, as you see, the water comes in from the creek and it's been hollowing out this section right here. So what I was able to do was get in contact with a couple of local tree guys, and they continuously dump all of their excess wood here, and it does several things. What it's doing is, as you see, it's cutting and burrowing a path through the center so that the water, when it comes from this embankment, it doesn't hit here and erode the property. So what I'm doing is just basically just reclaiming the land here, and I'm doing that by just piling on wood on top of wood on top of wood on top of wood. And this solves my problem. Okay, this solves my erosion problem. And I was thinking about how am I going to solve this problem beforehand. I was like, man, I gotta buy a load of rock, get it dumped here. It's $5.50 a load. Who wants to do that shit when I can just go ahead and get loads of wood from people who are dumping their wood? Because see, in order to get rid of this stuff, the tree companies and the people that do tree services, they got to go and dump it, and they got to pay a fee. But here, they don't have to pay a fee at all. So it's a win-win deal. And that's why, I just wanted to talk about briefly for a moment is that, relationships need to be about a win-win deal, not a win-lose deal. And the problem that we're having today is that a lot of people, um, they're takers. They're simply put, they're takers. They want to come in your life and they want to take and they want to exploit your resources, exploit your time, your effort, your intellectual property, but they don't want to give anything. Any situation where it's based on that is just simply put, is just not going to work because, in this day and age, we have just a plethora of people that think this way. It just has become the norm now in this day and age. So, you know, any relationship that you're building, whether building, business or personal, it has to be to a mutual benefit. And so, how do they benefit? They benefit from being able to dump wood on a land that they don't need, that they're going to pay a fee for to dump, and they don't have to pay that fee. Okay, how do I benefit? I get the benefit because now they're fixing my erosion problem, and in addition to that, I'm getting a free amount of unlimited wood. You see that there's a mutual benefit there to that situation. Nobody's being exploited, nobody's being taken advantage of, and it's a win-win deal. In this day and age, that's what you have to look for. That's what you have to learn how to cultivate, win-win deals, because a lot of situations you find people that are in win-lose deals. You hear it all the time, especially in relationships. One person is giving and the other person is not giving. One person is motivated and the other person is not motivated. One person is a giver and the other person is a taker. And those situations, they never really last because you have one person that is truly in a situation where they're entitled. They feel as though they're entitled to your resources, your time, your effort, your love, your respect, your admiration, but they don't want to give anything in return. And the simple reason why is that they have nothing to give because they haven't been cultivated in their mind to be that way. A lot of people today, especially in this day and age, they're takers. It's all about me, me, me. It's this entitlement mentality. I'm seeing more and more on Facebook. It's just sad to see, but people will just post their Cash App and say, "Give me," just because they exist, and it's a sad deal. It's unfortunate to see, but when people lose everything, they lose it. This is why you see people doing this because, hey, why not go for the gusto? I got nothing. I ain't about nothing. I can't produce nothing. I can't They can't do any of these things, so that's their default, and they're arrogant with it. That's the interesting thing. They're arrogant with their give me, give me, give me, take, me, thought process. They can't produce anything. They can't create anything for themselves. And so therefore, all they do is take and exploit from others. So, be careful of the kind of unions, the covenants that you enter into, because, people today, they're hurting bad. And, the spirit that comes over me is sorrow when you look at it, because you see the way the world is headed, and these people don't think that they're a part of the problem. It's either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And these people, they don't think that they are a part of the problem at all, but indeed they are. My best bet is to avoid these people at all costs. Recognize who these people are and just leave them alone. They'll crash and burn on their own. They'll not accomplish anything on their own, and they're just looking for people to exploit. They're nothing but a pile of dead trees that ain't nothing good for but creek management, erosion management, and to be burned into the fire. And that's exactly ultimately what's going to happen to these people, because it's unfortunate, but you got to realize that a lot of people, they don't bring any value to society. They're takers. They're exploiters. And we know a lot of these people, and the reason why a lot of people don't speak out against this kind of spirit is because they have the same kind of spirit. Everybody wants unlimited tries. Everybody wants unlimited passes on this kind of stuff. And just like, life just simply it just doesn't work that way. But the beautiful thing about life, and as time goes by, you can always tell by their fruit. You can tell what they're doing, what they're producing, and they're not producing anything. It's a sad deal. It really is. But in conclusion, make sure that you are building relationships based on mutual benefit, mutual upliftment. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't help people. A tornado comes through a town, wipes everybody out. That's not that person's fault. You help that person out. But you got a person that is gambling, irresponsible, and they get wiped out. And now they put a GoFundMe asking people for help, asking people for handouts. No. So it's all about the situation in which that calamity has struck. But you got to be wise, because you got users everywhere. It's sad. I was reading the scriptures the other night. It's talking about, and they shall borrow and shall not repay. But the righteous are prosperous. The righteous are the type of people that get ahead in life. But you see this today with this debt cycle. Everybody's in debt. Everybody's borrowing. Nobody can't repay. The chickens are coming home to roost. But those who produce, those who know how to create value in the lives of others, those are the people that will not only survive, but thrive. You see? Create value. Be value. Be a producer and not a taker.